Peace, peace. This is your host, Selah-Shalm, and this is the Cosmon Teachings in the words of Jehovah and his angel ambassadors from the Cosmon Bible OAHSPE. And the topic of discussion today is called the nature and characteristics of spirits, or angels, I should say. Angels is a better term to use than spirits, in the sense of identifying the life after death, or the being that proceeds after this physical body. Now, the characteristics of angels are no different than the characteristics of mortals. So when we talk about an evil angel or evil spirit, that person was an evil person when they was on earth. So if there's an evil angel or evil spirit, that means they continued their evil practice when they crossed over and died from when they was mortal. And that goes with all angels in the spirit world. Based off their characteristics and behavior, how they acted on earth, so shall they carry their behavior and characteristics in the spirit world. It's as simple as that. So when you talk about demons, or how people like to use this word demons, or evil spirits, or Satan, the devil, all these words are just descriptions of behaviors and characteristics of angels or mortals. A devil, although that's limited to Greek, it doesn't go in ancient history. It's just limited to the Greek language. That's where it started. But the term devil, deceiver, can refer to a human being, a mortal being, or an angel, because we're dealing with the characteristic. A deceiver, somebody who tricks somebody. An angel or a mortal can do that. You know what I'm saying? And the word Satan, Satan in the Hebrew, that's another word that means to deceive, lie, and that refers to a characteristics or behavior of an individual, whether he be mortal or angel. Same thing. So Satan could be an angel or he could be a mortal, based off the characteristics expressed. Based off his actions, so shall he be judged, so shall she be judged. So anybody could be Satan, anybody could be righteous based off their actions. That's what we're dealing with. The actions of mortals and angels determines the entitlement placed upon you. So if you a bad person, or he a bad person, he an evil person, that's the title placed upon you. Or he got a demon in him, he got an evil spirit in him. Based off what? Your actions, your ways and actions. And then you have angels that speak of reincarnation. You may hear people who talk about they was once here before, or they were here 1,000 times, they were here many lifetimes ago. See, those are angels who have no inspiration of leaving the earth. And they linger around and not expand into the heavenly plateaus that is out there for them to go to, but they rather linger on the earth and inspire mortals that after death there's nothing to do but to start over again on earth and be born again, which is a lie, it's a deception. See that? So all these are characteristics based off individuals, based off the doctrine that they believed in on earth, or the doctrine that they believed in when they entered in the spirit world, or that's the characteristics that they were circumstanced to based off their surroundings. Like coming up in the ghetto. The ghetto may have an effect on people where they may be more negative than those living in the suburbs, where they have a more peaceful environment. See that? So it's all based off the characteristics of the individual and his surroundings of the individual, or the nation, or the country. See that? So the behavior and characteristics of angels first stem from the behavior and characteristics of mortals. Because before you become an angel, you have to be a mortal first. The Bible don't tell you that either. I was debating a brother about that. He believed that, the angels were created out of thin air. And I said, no. I said, you don't know the system and order, the cosmic order. That's why you could say a hypothesis like that, and it makes no sense. It's too abstract. But if I tell you that you had to come into this physical form through the womb of the woman and come into this world as a fleshly corporeal being, learning corporeal things, and then through death, you shed this corporeal body, and then you become the angel or the spirit or the ethereal. See that? But you had to go through the corporeal first. Those are the steps. 1, 2, 3. You can't just blop and be at 9. It don't work like that. So when we talk about the false gods are angels who decided to create a doctrine or a system for their own glory and self-glorification, and turning against the ways of creation, or the ways against the Creator. But all this is based off the intent of the individual once again. So a false god becomes false based off his own intention. See that? So when we deal any characteristics we dealing with is always going to revert back to an individual. So when we talk about Satan, again, Satan is not some elusive, airy creature or elusive spirit floating around like the cloud, like a big vapor cloud. Nah. If you refer to Satan, you're either referring to a physical person or you're referring to a spiritual, angelical being. Lucifer. Well, I don't use the term Lucifer because I know what the origin of the word means. It refers to the star Venus in its origin. But a lot of people like to refer to Lucifer with Satan. But in their own ignorance, Lucifer will still be an individual based off his characteristics, why he would be considered Lucifer or against God for those Christian thinking people who believe in Lucifer. Which in return, Lucifer is a Greek, the bright morning star, and the bright morning star is Venus. If you know anything about your cosmogony. You know what I'm saying? You got to study the sun, moon, and stars. These are the works of the Creator. And if you don't study His creation, then how can you be equipped to even call yourself a priest, prophet, messenger, apostle, God? See that? How can you do that? I follow the moon cycles for about over 7 years, and I'm starting to get a glimpse of how the codes and the mystery works with just following the lunar calendar that nobody could tell me except you followed it for the 7 years like I did. And you would see the cycles and the sequence of numbers and how things work. If you ain't been following the moon cycle sequentially, there's nothing you could tell me. It'll be a philosophy and a hypothesis on your end. But I could pull out charts and show you readings and show you how certain cycles coincide with other cycles. See that? And how the years and the dates add up to certain cycles or sequences of threes. Something you don't even know what I'm talking about, but you would have to only see the charts laid out and then go over it, and then you will see how the Creator unlocks His codes once you just observe. See that? You got to start with the basics, man. You got to understand light and day and the moon. That's the first. That's the first primary lessons right there. The moon cycle is primary 101 lesson to know how it works. Because that's your calendar. That's your clock. How you gonna know the time without a clock? How you gonna know the dates? How you gonna know what day it is if you don't know how to follow the moon cycle? See that? That's the true calendar of the Creator. How you gonna be talking about you follow the Creator and you don't know how to follow the moon cycle? That's the basic 101. And I'm only saying this because I started following it several years ago, and I see the validity in following it, and then I see the arrogance in us claiming to know something when this simple step that I'm following, half the priests out there in the Hebrew camps or the Muslim community, Christian community, or the Kemetic Egyptian community, they don't have no calendar of a consistency showing that they've been following anything for a period of time to show their worth. I can show my worth. I can pull out my moon cycles and show and make it make sense. Show you how the calendar works. See that? Show you that today is the 19th day of the moon. See that? 10th moon cycle. Yeah. You got to be in time with nature. And then I can tell you we in time and be in time with the false calendar. You got to be on time with both parts. You can't just know the Roman calendar. You can't discount the Roman calendar. Say, oh, we don't follow the Sabbath because it's Saturday, and then you don't have nothing to replace it with. Or you still following Saturday as a Sabbath. Saturnalia. The Roman gods is the days of the week of the calendar and the months. That's Roman shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the nature of the beast. That's following Satan. you're being deceived and you don't know, have no alternatives. The moon cycle is the alternative, but you argue that. See that? But that's the nature and characteristics of mortals and angels. Any characteristics, any description, any title, evil spirit, reincarnator, grafter, Satanist, worship for Lucifer, all those are based off the characteristics of individuals, whether mortal or angels. And it has nothing to do with the reflection of the Creator, the ever-present. You can't box the Creator in. I declare the Creator. The Creator is ever-present. He doesn't judge things as man and angels would judge things. What's good in the Creator's eyes is not good in our eyes. What's bad in the Creator's eyes is different from our eyes. See, we can't judge for the Creator. See that? The Creator is the ultimate judge. He'll send an earthquake and a whirlwind and dilapidate and collapse a city. And you will say, well, why would the Creator do that? Why would God do that? See, you can't make the judgment for the Creator. He will flip this planet upside down